Hello, everyone. I'm Romy Harari,
And I'm Josh Frechette.
and we are back for my final sit down interview at Viewpoint. And because part one was so popular last year,
Who knew?
who knew that we'd be famous? Got to put VSM on the map.
Yes.
So we're back for part two.
Yes.
Because why else,
Let's
end
go.
my career with this? Let's
Here we
do it.
go.
So let's start off by saying, how we're feeling about how this department has grown since you've been here. And it's been 2 years now.
2 years, yep.
Okay.
It'll be 2 years, yeah, in July.
Time flew by.
It has flown by. I think we've tried to not overdo things, but we've tried to bring some equity and some consistency into the support what we're doing. I think our biggest focus has tried to be the connection of the different levels. So 4th through 12th grade competitive athletics, and how do we make that feel more like a community? And so we've done a variety of things for that. We had this past school year, we had 24 clinics for 4th through 8th grade by our coaches and players, which I think has been really great. We had Winterfest and Spring Fest, where we had a bunch of home games and had folks come together and tried to connect folks in that way. We debuted the Patriot Playbook, which is a monthly email that comes out of the athletics department and gives kind of highlights of where we are in the seasons. And then the final thing that I'm really excited about is next year we added an assistant athletic director whose focus is on 4th through 8th grade. So
that's really focusing on those different levels. I know, fusing them all together.
We want our 4th grader to think about playing for, what it's going to be like on the varsity team in whatever sport that is, and see themselves as a part of a program when they start playing competitively in the lower school, and then breathe life into that through the middle and upper school.
Yeah, no, I think that definitely will be a really good addition, especially because at least when I was in 4th grade, I was excited to get to that level.
Right.
So I think it's a good anticipation as for what's to come. And looking back on your first 2 years, what would you say is your most proud moment where you're like, I did this and I implemented this?
It's hard, right? Because, I think, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, but I think with a 4th through 12th grade program, it's hard to pick those out. I think the end result successes have been really exciting. Having, 5 Southern Section championships,
a lot.
Having 14 Gold Coast championships is great. I think the idea of this year having 18 of our 22, varsity programs making the postseason is super exciting. And the end result success, I think, is great. And I think it comes from the process and the all of the hours that the students and the coaches put in as they go through that. I think some of the things that stand out to me more so, and don't necessarily have to do with me per se, but with what we do, we had 70% of our upper school, kids play a sport, and they have the option to do PE, so they don't have to. I think that says a lot about the experience our kids are having. Having 16 kids in the last 2 years go on to play at the college level, I think is super exciting. But quite honestly, the coolest thing is to see our kids and teams at their highest moments and their toughest moments kind of have the connection. Right? So seeing the girls soccer team when they went overtime and double overtime and what that was like in that run, seeing Eric close out the Division IV, boys track last year in the last race of the event, and seeing what that was like. But also seeing this year our boys tennis team, who's super young, go out, stretch Santa Monica out to a tiebreaker within the tiebreaker, right? And to lose on games, right? It's crazy, right? And yet, as much as that was disappointing for them, you could see how connected they were as a group, how much they appreciated the effort everybody put in. Coach Espinoza, Coach Kikagawa, and the work they did with those kids over the course of that time, I think speaks to what those experiences are like, and that's as exciting as anything.
Yeah, and I think that really touches on how, in part one, we were talking about the journey over that end result, and that was a really big pillar of the Viewpoint athletics conversation. And I think what you're saying is the experiences. We've watched so many journeys over the past 2 years where it's when you think about it, we can't just hang our hat on one accomplishment, because all these journeys, individual journeys, have been truly accomplishments and proud moments.
Yeah, and those are the moments, right, that kids come back. I mean, we've had, alumni come back in the last couple of weeks, right? And when they come back and talk to us, it's like, do you remember that, like that game or that event or whatever it was, more often than like, oh, we won or lost? You know, and I think that's pretty cool.
It is the journey of that end result in the end. So looking at those 2 years and the journeys, has there been any challenges that you didn't initially anticipate when you first took on this role just 2 years ago?
I think you can't understand the challenge of a 4th through 12th grade program until you kind of immerse yourself in it, right? And because the challenge is the breadth and depth of what we offer and all the stakeholders that are in that, right? Like, I try to get to as many events as I can, and it's just you can't get to all of them, you know? And so I think that's a frustration that I have. But it is, I think it's there. But that being said, like, I think our coaches at each level have done an incredible job preparing our kids to compete in meaningful ways. I think our board and our senior administration and our admin at all those levels has done an amazing job with their support as we go forward. Our families and our students, have to be invested for that to happen. And I think we see a lot of good around there. But yeah, that's the biggest challenge, is just the breadth and depth and trying to get all the stakeholders what they need.
It's a lot of moving parts.
It is.
But I'm interested to see, after I leave, how this new job of the primary or lower school and middle school, how that helps cover that expansive amount of grades.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's hard to put into words like what that can do for us beyond the fact that like it's someone who's very thoughtful about what that looks like. I think it's a group in our community that continues to excel, and I think they're being seen and heard and celebrated with a more focused lens on them is going to serve us all really well.
100%. I'm very excited to see where that goes.
Yeah.
So touching more on Viewpoint Sports Media and our program, how do you hope the relationship between the athletic department and VSM continues to develop in the next couple of years?
Yeah. I mean, I think I love the presence. Like, I know we had some broadcasts and those things going through there. I think that's huge. I think whatever draws eyes to what we do athletically is important. And I think it's much more organic when it's the students driving that instead of the adults. I think that is always exciting. I think the roundtables have been really interesting in some of those discussions, and like some you want to hear and some you don't, but they're important discussions to have. I mean, to me, the roundtable around school spirit and what that looks like, the best part of that was like, it's us as students, like we have to drive that, right? Like, I know when I was in high school, if my parents told me to do something, I wasn't that interested. So like for me to go, I'm like, you guys should go to the game, and they'll be like, cool.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe. Right. But if everyone's going to go, or a lot of friends are going to go, like that drives that piece. And so there's an ownership. And I think to see that from VSM is super important. I also always love the funny ones, right?
Got to get those in there.
You got to get those pieces in there. And I'm sure it's more fun to do, but I just think the spotlight that you all have developed and kind of grown over the last couple of years has been super fun for me to see, but I think it helps us out a ton as a department too.
How do you envision that coverage continuing? Do you think it's more on that broadcasting piece, or like specific spotlights on teams, students, athletes?
I think it would be cool to continue to broadcast. I would like to expand kind of what we broadcast with our huddle camera and going through that. That's one of the things that we've talked about, is trying to get get some cameras out on the other end and see some of the younger players going through there.
Yeah.
But I think it would be cool to have some kids that were into broadcasting and doing that. I think it would be interesting if there was like a seasonal show, right, where either you did a preseason interview with like the different coaches and what that looks like, and the captains, and like, what are you guys expecting, or what do you think that's going to be like, or even just an interview with a coach that's in season as you go through that. any collaboration with the art department over social media, I think is better. Again, that student voice and that student flavor is super important. And then I think I have and I think if we can get sports media involved with some of the sports festivals, so winter and spring sports fest, and having that connection, either whether it's just around the marketing piece, but also around ideas that we could do, ways that we can kind of make that new and different. I'd love to see some overlap with the Navy and Viewpoint Sports Media in terms of, again, the marketing piece and how to rally the troops and bring that in. So, but I think the energy that's in it right now is awesome, and whatever we can do to kind of keep it going will be great.
Yeah, I mean, I'll pass it on to the next group.
Indeed.
But yeah, I think also having coverage across the whole school, because that is what makes Viewpoint so special, in my opinion, is that literally just a walk across campus and you have a whole different school over there.
Sure.
And so kind of covering that in their athletic success, because they're having quite a lot of it, and showing that journey from, lower school, middle school, all the way to high school. I think that would be really interesting.
Yeah. And like I said, I think the student voice is an important one. You are kind of developing your voices as you go through that program. It's unique. I don't know a ton of schools that have something as specific as that, as what we have.
Yeah.
And so the more of a spotlight we can put on that and the work that you all do, I think the better it is for you all, but also, for the school.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really viable option for folks to pursue after they leave here, and so, and that's always good for us to kind of have that student voice as a part of it.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'll be doing. You know where to find me.
It. There we go.
So, yeah. I mean, it's been a very eventful 2 years.
Yes.
Pretty successful 2 years. All the accomplishments that you read off about league championships and CIF championships, like, I'm sitting here and I've been here for 2 years. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, oh my gosh. Like,
it is.
That all happens.
It's a busy place, right?
It is.
And so I think we always want to try to shine a spotlight on the things that are happening. And there's 1,180 kids here, right? And so there's a lot of things to keep an eye on, and you want to value what everybody's doing, right? And that's, that's athletic. We're not even talking about the visual arts, performing arts, music, like all of the things that our kids are really passionate about. But yeah, there's a lot to celebrate, which is nice.
Yeah. And looking into the future, I think it's, nothing but success. Like, we have a good idea, good plan going into the future. I know, like what you said in the beginning about fusing together all of the grades and what we've already accomplished at Viewpoint, and you've accomplished in the athletic department. Just give you another couple of years, and I don't know, we'll see what happens. I mean, it's only been 2. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's only been 2, and you like reflect and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
2 years is not that long, but
no.
Look what
went by in a blink.
It really did. No. So I think I'm really excited as an almost alumni, I guess, to see what happens, not only with sports media, but the athletic department in general, see how all these things play out in the future. And I'll be on the sidelines.
Yes.
I'll come by.
We'll look forward to it.
Gotta come to the soccer games,
for sure.
Football games, gotta be there.
Bring them all back.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome anytime.
Thank you. It's been a good 2 years. Hey, maybe this won't be just as successful, and we could do alumni.
There we go.
Alumni for 3.
Come back.
Episode 3.
Episode 3 will be alumni interviews. We'll see how it goes.
We'll see how that is. Thank you.
Thanks.